Hey Aquarius, happy February 2018. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm going to shuffle the cards. As you know, I always pre-shuffle, but I'm going to shuffle quite a bit. I want to see what else pops out. I'm going to try and keep the reads pretty short. I know I said that last month, but this month I'm going to try and stick to it. So, hope you guys are doing fantastic. Let's get started here. So, as you know, my channel, Dark Dove Tarot, is about love and anybody looking to reconcile. I do get questions about reading based on relationships, and I generally don't, just because the people who contact me for, you know, private reads or ask me questions, email me, etc., are usually single or wondering about a past love, an ex, and so that's why I generally don't touch base on relationships. I'll see about adding it in, or maybe trying to do, you know, some mid-month reads with, you know, all three. But for now, it's mainly going to be singles and anybody looking to reconcile. And typically, I'll spend the most time on singles. All right, so as you know, check your sun, moon, and rising. As some months, those may resonate with you more than others. This is a general read, so keep that in mind. Some months you may need to watch your sun, moon, and rising to get a collective of everything that's going on with you. If you like, if you would like to schedule a private read, the information is in the description below, and any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are greatly appreciated. So, last month I was pretty under the weather. I hope you could still understand my reading. I know that Pisces and Taurus, unfortunately, got left off because once I hit a certain amount of time, or once I hit a certain time frame, I won't do it for that month because I'd rather not. I'd rather just start clean the next month. So, let's see what we have here. Bunch of cards just popped out. So, let's take a look. I'm going to get a couple more and then we'll get started. Aquarius, happy birthday, by the way. I know it's starting to come up for some of you, and the rest of you will be continuing throughout February. All right. What do we have in store for Aquarius? Love. Oh, and there's a ton more that just popped out. So, let's see here. Two more, and then I'll get your clarifying card, and we'll get started. Again, I'm going to try and move these along a little quicker. I did have some people ask why I don't shuffle as much, you know, why last year I didn't shuffle very much. And I didn't want to take up too much of your time, so if you prefer that I don't shuffle like this, then let me know too. I just have done it because some people asked, and I want to make sure you guys are comfortable in the cards coming out, etc. All right, so I'm going to put these over to the side. I'm going to get your theme of the month card. Ooh, and that popped right out onto the ground. So let's see. All right, your theme of the month, I normally put over here. Hopefully you can still see it. Otherwise, I can move it over here. The Wheel of Fortune. All right, so big changes, unplanned changes, whether you're single or looking to reconcile. This is going to be pretty much the same for both of you. The Wheel of Fortune is things coming, but things that you haven't planned. So if things have been really negative, you'll see an upside. If things have been really positive, it doesn't mean that you'll see a downside, but it means like there's a cycle here and you're either completing a cycle or starting a cycle. Again, I like this card because it's changes that are necessary. They're more focused on destiny or the universe changing, not necessarily you. This is kind of almost you being forced to make changes, and again, that are unplanned. But I think I've said in almost every one of, you know, every sign's readings at one point or another, I know in my life when things are meant to move or meant to be, they move quick. And that's kind of saying the Wheel of Fortune has some big changes coming this month for you, Aquarius. All right, coming into the month, you have the Devil. Okay, so this is your current position or where you are coming into the month. And a lot of people get freaked out by the Devil, but you definitely shouldn't, because this is, it's getting rid of destructive patterns, addiction. It can be giving away your power. So this could in turn be you saying, okay, you know, I'm going to let the universe take the wheel here, and go from there. But this does say that some of you have been dealing with either addictive personalities, yourself, or maybe somebody else. If you're single, this may just be that you've been dealt a very bad hand at the dating game lately. And so either you're deciding that you want nothing to do with the dating game. It hasn't worked out for you. Maybe you've met a lot of people who, you know, lie, cheat, steal, etc. It may be that that's what's kept you from dating. But what's very interesting is I have a feeling that many of you are, this is like a change that's coming in. So you're dropping these people. I really feel like because it's your birthday month, this is you coming to fruition and saying, hey, I'm single. I know the type of people that I want to date. And I know what I'm not willing to settle for. And I really feel like a lot of you have met just crazy people. And you're coming into the month like, okay, I'm avoiding this devil at all costs, if that makes sense. But for some of you, you are dealing with, maybe you've had eating addictions, drinking problems, drugs, and this is like a new year, new you, and, you know, beginning of a new cycle because it's, you know, your birthday month coming in. So the devil I wouldn't get too worried about, but, you know, this does say that some of you are looking into your life and deciding what you don't want. Maybe if you've been dating, every time you date, you know, you guys have been going to have a drink or been going to, you know, overindulge in some type of substance. Now, some of you, it may just be that you're avoiding, these are the type of people that you're avoiding, and which makes complete sense. So let's see, I don't want to get too carried away into this because this definitely is a positive. I know that sounds weird because you're going to be like, hey, how could that be positive that I'm either dealing with some sort of addictions or family is, or people I know, or maybe it just keeps coming up in the dating world. But this is either you have gotten over certain things and now, and again, it doesn't have to be addiction. It could be that maybe you're meeting people who are really jealous. Because this is just somebody that really wants to kind of control the situation. And I feel like it's energy around you. It's not really you. So you're coming into this month kind of saying, okay, I need to address this issue. Whatever it is to you, however it pertains to you. But we'll see how the cards kind of flow and go from there. Then if you're looking to reconcile, this definitely tells me that somebody that you've been dealing with or somebody that you wanted back or they wanted you back has had major issues. I see, you know, major vices for some of you, and then jealousy, deceit. So you're coming into this month. Look, Aquarius, this says that you're dealing with something, and it could be as extreme as an addiction, or it could be something as, you know, a jealous ex, but you're definitely facing this month head on. Like they say, eat the frog. You know there's an issue here, whether you're single or looking to reconcile. You know there's some sort of issue here, and you need to take care of it. Whether you're dating and meeting people who seem to have a lot of problems, opioid abuse. I hear a lot of people have stories about meeting pill poppers and stuff. So just be careful. This is just saying you know what you don't know, what you don't want, and you know that you've got a situation to deal with. So I don't want to dwell too much on it because there's more to the story here, but you're definitely facing something coming into the month, Aquarius. Okay, the next card you have is you. So the next card you have is how you're feeling internally. So it's very contradictory. You're the star, so you're showing up in your own reading, which is amazing. Always, anytime you show up in your own reading, that means you're like ahead of the game. So this definitely says you're clearing bad air. If you're single, you are the star. You're feeling like the star. You're feeling hope and faith renewed. Maybe you've met somebody recently and you're thinking, wow, not everybody I meet online is crazy, or not everybody I meet has a problem, or there are people out there who, you know, aren't going to lie to me, aren't going to deceive me. So it's very interesting because you're feeling kind of like you could be on top of the world, but you have to clear some dead air. So if you're single, you're either figuring out a different way to date, a more comfortable way for you, or you're learning the signs on people that are being, you know, defeating and lying, cheating, etc. This is inspiration. It's self-esteem. It's feeling generous. So maybe you've stopped dating for a long time and you're coming into this birthday month going, I really deserve to meet somebody. I'm single. I really want to meet somebody amazing. But I have to get rid of this past or the people that I was dating before or the types of people I was meeting in order to completely be myself. And again, for some of you, it may be that you've, stopped overeating. It may simply be vices that you had to deal with on your own, that you finally took control of your own life and you're coming in feeling like this. You're just dealing with these problems head on. Because as long as you're feeling like this, Aquarius, you can take on the world. One of my favorite cards. It also represents you guys, as you know. So if you're single, definitely a good space to be in, knowing your self-worth and having hope and being able to overcome this. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is having faith in yourself that you will get past this as well. So very similar for anybody who's single and looking to reconcile. As long as you're feeling this energy, you're going to move into better things. And this is perfectly tied in because big changes, Aquarius, big changes. If you're looking to reconcile, you may have decided to, that's it. Like you're closing this devil off. And for the first time in a long time, you feel like this. Yes, you may miss them. Yes, you may not understand exactly why it didn't work out the way you wanted it to or the way you were hoping. But now you have hope in yourself. This is you feeling rejuvenated and renewed. I really feel like you had to get rid of some baggage, or you finally had to say goodbye to somebody who just wasn't healthy for you. And yes, you still have a strong connection to them, but your connection to yourself is getting stronger every day. And that's more powerful than the first. The next card you have is anything in your distant past, over the past few years. It's usually over, a long time. So it could go back to your childhood. You have the Emperor. So in the distant past, and I always bring up the distant past because this is, where you want to remember, if there were good things in your past relationships, you want to harness those. And if there were bad things in your past relationship, you want to always remember those so you don't repeat those patterns or end up in unhealthy situations. So the Emperor is actually an excellent card to have in your past because this is you seeing things and understanding things and then structuring some sort of authority or traditional ways around them. So meaning, let's say you grew up in a very structured household that has kept you somewhat, some of you are feeling thankful this month for maybe things in the past. Maybe that's helping you get past this. Maybe at some point you had a really traditional life with, parents who had a healthy relationship or grandparents who had a healthy relationship, or maybe you had healthy relationships and you just haven't seemed to be able to grasp that lately. And now you're going to, but you have to leave that past behind. You have to figure it out. Now it could be the complete opposite. It could be that you grew up with this type of lifestyle and you realize that it's not good for you and you've always dreamt of some sort of structure. Maybe you had parents who were drug addicts or alcoholics or abusers, or, maybe you had siblings, etc. It could be a plethora of situations. Whether you're single or reconcile, this is the same for both of you. I always read the distant past together. And the Emperor is definitely saying, look, I've got it. I can conquer it. I know what a healthy relationship looks like. I know what is good for me. I know what type of structure is going to be best in my life. And it's like, for some reason, you had to face that devil. You had to realize that maybe the patterns of the men or women you were meeting were abusive. And you're starting to realize I don't want that. I've never wanted that. But maybe you grew up in that type of home and every relationship has kind of reflected that. And now you're just getting rid of the devil and feeling ready to take on what the world has for you as you. And it feels like for the first time for some of you, whether you're single or looking to reconcile, you're actually doing something for you. Like you're 100% doing what is going to be healthy for you, doing what feels good for you. You're paying attention to, how your stomach reacts around certain type of people, or, if you're happy, genuinely happy around people, or whether you're faking it. Just a lot of clarity here for you, Aquarius. There's just this sense of like a light bulb moment, if that makes sense. And it feels like a lot of past pain and past problems have led to this point, but it's a really good point to be at. The next card you have is your immediate past over the past few weeks, past a month or two. Okay, so this tells me something clicked here to make you realize you needed to get rid of this. If you're single, it's whatever baggage was hanging onto you, whatever was keeping you from having a successful relationship, you have finally figured out how to overcome that. Now, coming into this month may have been difficult because it may have been, you realized that, you know, maybe it was even a physical thing. Like maybe, you know, you were having physical relations too fast and the relationships weren't going the way you realized or the way you wanted. And now you've realized like, hey, there's certain precautions. I need to have a little more structure here in my decisions in order to get a more pleasurable outcome. Because the Sun here is a fantastic card to have in your immediate past. But that tells me you definitely have been figuring out what you want. You definitely have been making some really, really tough decisions. Because the Sun and the Star go hand in hand. They're both underlying meanings are hope and inspiration. But the Sun has clear-sightedness and self-awareness. Now the Star is self-awareness too, but the Sun is like seeing everything for what it is. No holds barred, no pretending, no games. And you've had to do that. If you're single, you've had to realize like, if I go about dating a certain way, or if I go about meeting people a certain way, or I stay to the same type of person, stick to the same type of person I've dealt with in the past, this will be my outcome. But you're not. And I think when I said the light bulb moment here, you are making these huge changes, and that light bulb clicked in the past few weeks, past month or two. You just weren't sure how to put it in action. So that's why you're feeling kind of like you're facing this type of scenario, because you are actually making some momentum of clearing out any dead air, any negative energy, anything that doesn't make you feel good. And some of you, it may just be that you decided to date again because you've been letting this hold you down. You've dealt with abusers. You've dealt with people who had addictions. You've dealt with people who've had problems. And you see clearly now that if you make different choices and you make changes, then you can date and have fun and find a healthy relationship without a problem. And like I said, I'll repeat it for the third time, that light bulb moment, some of you had it. You realize that if you think that that's the type of relationship you're going to have, or those are the types of people you're going to meet, then those are the types of people you're going to meet. Like, you know, if you're looking for somebody who doesn't drink or doesn't, then you may go on a website that's suited for that type of group. If you're religious, you may decided that you're going to go on some sort of, you know, site that's based around the religion you're in. Whatever it is to you, it's kind of like you've gone, okay, the definition of insanity, right, is repeating the same actions, hoping for a different outcome. And all of a sudden you've decided you're not going to do that. You're not letting this devil take control. You're not letting the negative energy or anything else ruin your potential. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that you, somewhere along the line, either you broke it off or they did, but I get a very strong feeling that you broke it off. And if you broke it off, you started to feel like this. And you're starting to see them like this. And you knew it in your gut to a certain extent that that's what was going on, or that they were lying to you, or they were overly jealous. Maybe they were, you know, who's that on your Facebook, and who's in your emails, and who's in your type, whatever it is. And now all of a sudden, the past few weeks or past month or so, you're feeling amazing, like on top of the world. And you may be like, okay, I'm not quite there yet. But you're realizing that those like thumps in your stomach are not there anymore because you don't have this person here. Now, yes, there's a connection there. And yes, you feel deeply for them. And yes, I think some of you are going, if they can, you know, have a come to Jesus, so to speak, and really think about their actions, then, you know, we might be able to try again. And so you have that hope and that inspiration. But for the first time ever, you're seeing that things in your life may have been kind of lousy because you needed to let this energy go in order to get what you want. So even though you miss this person and you have the connection, and some of you hope that you can reconnect in the future, you're also feeling hope that for the first time ever, you're starting to feel like yourself again. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks, next month or two, and you have the Lovers. So that's very good here. All right, Aquarius. So this tells me if you're single, you are ready for love. You're ready for chemistry. You're ready for connection. You're ready to find your duality. Somebody, you know, to be your partner in life. Now, this isn't a twin flame card, but what better card than the Lovers to show up in a love reading, right? So if you're single, the distant future poses that for you. And this Wheel of Fortune almost makes me feel like maybe you met somebody that made you realize that not everybody's going to be like this, and you can actually be yourself around them. So you have this moment of clarity, and that's like a whole new world for you. You're not even sure what to do with it. So if you haven't met somebody, you will be meeting somebody that's going to turn into this, because this energy will be gone. And again, you'll feel like yourself for the first time in a long time, without putting on a game face, without saying, well, he or she's great, but, or he or she's great, but. Instead of making excuses, you're seeing things at face value. So that's a beautiful future to have over the next few weeks, next month or two, because that's saying, look, the possibility is there. You know, you have to grab a hold of it. And I really feel like if you have met somebody recently, then you know who I'm talking about. And if you haven't, you will be meeting them recently. And it's going to come in quick. Again, it's going to be like unplanned. It's just going to happen. If you're looking to reconcile, I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say it, but I don't know that you want to hear it. But one of the first things that pops into my mind with this, two things. One, you've met somebody outside of the realm of the person that you've been thinking about that you wanted to reconcile with, and they've shown you that you don't have to be with somebody like this. You can be with somebody like this. And it's become a clarity moment. So some of you are almost feeling guilty because you're feeling as though you're cheating on your ex, because you're starting to really like somebody, or you're starting to meet people that you potentially could start dating, and you're not sure how to feel because you're worried that if you let that person go, then it's done. You're not sure how to let that go. The other scenario is, this is for the first time you loving yourself and figuring out who you are. This is a duality inside yourself. I really think the first scenario is more apt. I think that you have met somebody, or you've seen the capability of, you know, maybe you started to date a little bit because you're like, well, he or she can't get their crap together and I need to move on with my life a little bit. And now all of a sudden things have been kind of positive and you're not sure what to do about it. You're feeling like this pain of guilt. Like, how could I move on when they're going through this or having problems? And you really shouldn't, because everything is beautiful except for this devil that's weighing you down. And although I do think that there is some aspect of this about you learning to love yourself again. Same as the singles, but if you're looking to reconcile, you're going through the same type of thing. And maybe it's because your birthday, and so not only is it a new year, but it's a new, you know, a new year of life for you. And there's definitely some awakenings of some inspiration and some hope here. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks, next month, usually throughout the month of February, and then you'll lead into this. Now this is the Seven of Swords. So this is somebody who's being very cautious and being very careful. So if you're single, nothing wrong with that. If you're single, you're saying, look, I'm ready, I'm good to start dating, but I am going to be very cautious, because you don't want to be manipulated. You don't want to be deceived. So you kind of have a strategy, if you haven't met this person I'm talking about, that's going to make you feel this light, and that's kind of coming in as a big change. Excuse me. If you haven't met this person, then you will, but you're being very careful and being very strategic, because you still have a little bit of this weight on your shoulders. It's kind of like, are they being truthful to me? Are they? So it's okay to be cautious. Just make sure that you're not, you know, manifesting things that aren't really there, or creating issues because you're feeling very much like you just don't want to be deceived. You're protecting your heart, which is good, but don't stab yourself in the process. You know, don't omit a really good opportunity because you have doubts, or because you haven't had a good dating life, or because you haven't had a good relationship life, or anything to look forward to in a long time. So don't let that bog down the potential of this new person coming in, or somebody you've possibly met. If you're looking to reconcile, you need to be careful this month, because this is saying that this devil is coming in, and they don't want you to start seeing people. So maybe they're going to catch wind that you're seeing somebody, or they're going to notice it, and they're going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. And so be very careful. If you're looking to reconcile, this is saying, look, you need to have a defense in place. You need to have a strategy in place. You need to know that it's okay to feel this way again. It's okay to have these things coming to fruition for you. You know, don't put yourself in some solitude now, because, you know, this person's coming back in being deceiving or manipulating. So I'm just giving you a warning. You may have to deal with some negativity from this person again. You may end up meeting this devil again, or seeing this devil again, or again, you're going to be, it's like the more you start changing and the more that you start moving on with your life, the more they're going to be like in your face or trying to get a hold of you. So be cautious, because the feelings you're feeling now without them, just remember how that feels. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to lose that feeling. And right now is not a really good time for reconciliation if this is still going on. The next card you have is anything throughout the month of February that is going to be like tangible. That's something that you may run into in the beginning of the month, the end of the month, the middle of the month. And it could be, you know, last day, could last an hour. But this is something that you're going to run into. And you have the Seven of Coins or the Seven of Pentacles. And this is making wise decisions. So if you're single, this is you assessing the situation, kind of figuring out the risk reward. So if you're single, you're going to be assessing it more and more practically, and less with this hanging, with this devil hanging in the wind, because you're finally feeling like this. So you're going to start looking at the people that you're dating, or if you've met this person I'm talking about, or if you're starting to date, you are very much weighing the factors of who is this, what is this type of person, what red flags am I getting? But it's not going to be a negative. I don't see that you're going to be putting too much pressure on it, but you're definitely assessing every situation. You're taking into consideration everything they say, their actions, you know, if they do, you know, have vices, if they do drink or whatever, how often are they doing that? So you really are paying attention to what people put in front of you and deciding whether you think it's face value or not. Basically reading the red flags. But you're trusting yourself more and more that I think you're going to be just fine. Again, you can't dwell and assume that every single person is going to be that way. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you making a decision. At some point this month or over the next month or two, you are going to make a decision on, if I move on with my life, what are the rewards? And if I stay with this person, what are the risks? And I hate to say that because it could be the opposite. If I move on, what are the risks? And if I go back to this person, what's the reward? But I don't see that for a lot of you, Aquarius. I don't see that being, I see this being very much, if you go back, it's going to be a risk. And if you ignore this light, if you go back to them, it's going to be a risk. And if you ignore the light and the good things coming, it's a risk. But if you decide that you're better than this and you decide to hang on to the light and the love coming in, then it's a reward. And you're really going to have to think about it. And some of you are going to have to make a decision, and quick too, because I feel this energy coming towards you, Aquarius, that's like just pounding at you, stabbing at you, like, hey, you know, what about me? What about me? Don't you miss me? Don't you love me? And like, I don't get a really good vibe about this. All right. The next card you have is the Ten of Cups. All right, so this is how you're feeling in the beginning, middle, and throughout the month of February. It could just be, you know, again, the same as the tangible, but this is how you're feeling. This is what you want. This is the end goal. This is beautiful. This is the Ten of Cups. It's joy, it's peace, it's family, it's peacefulness within yourself and within your life. So if you're single, for some of you, this is the ultimate goal. The kids, the husband, the wife, whatever. For some of you, just getting to know somebody and having a healthy relationship is what you want. Maybe your kids are going to be dogs. Maybe you don't ever want to get married, but you want to be serious for the rest of your life with somebody. The Ten of Cups is a beautiful place to be. So throughout the month, because you're finally being honest with yourself about what you want and what you need and what you deserve, you're going to have these overwhelming feelings. And some of you, I think it's going to be really overwhelming. Moments of chills, moments of inspiration, moments where you just have that 2 seconds, you know, where you feel like everything's going to be okay. Just everybody's had that. I believe. And if you haven't, I hope that one day you do. But have you ever just had that moment where just for 2-3 seconds, you just have that overwhelming feeling that everything's going to be okay, or that I could make my dreams come true? Those are these moments that you're going to experience this month. So even though you're going to spend time weighing the, you know, assessing the new people coming in and the people you're dating, somebody's going to kind of trigger this inside of you, and you need to pay attention to that, because it only brings this, and it only makes things clearer. If you're looking to reconcile, I really feel like if this person truly is like this, hanging around, then these hopes are going to be about somebody else that's coming in. If this person has cut this devil and the negativity and they figured things out, then yes, there's a possibility you could have this here. But the fact that these two cards are surrounding this is saying, you can't get me. You won't get me. Like, you're not bringing me down anymore. So if you're looking to reconcile, I really feel like because you came out so strong with this card and then you came out as yourself here, you need to detach the two. You guys need to say, see you later. See, the devil's facing her or him, and they've got their back to that person going, nope. And look at this family. They have their back to the devil. So if you're looking to reconcile, I think you need to find a much better person to be with. And I think some of you know it. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Queen of Swords. So this is how you're feeling towards the end of February. This is, you know, what you're hoping for, what you're thinking about, you know, what you think is going to get you to the outcome that you want. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who's honest. They see things clearly. So here you have two cards of clarity and trajectory that tells you what you want. This queen, she is like, I'm ready to cut up. Like I'm done with this. I know what I want. And if you're single, this is exactly the end of the month. You're like, I know what I want. I know what I deserve. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I have to offer. And I'm ready to bring it to the table. And nobody's going to get in my way. If you're looking to reconcile, the Queen of Swords is saying you need to be very honest. And you need to be critical. And you may need to be critical of this devil. And you may need to be critical of yourself if you're thinking that this devil can change unless you've seen something major. People can change. Some people don't believe they can. I think over time people can change. Or they can become a new, you know, maybe they weren't being who they really were. And there's all different scenarios. But the Queen of Swords is saying, look, bring it on. I'm going to tell you straight up. You treated me like crap. You were abusive. Or you drink too much. Or you do too many drugs. Whatever it is. And I think that's what you're going to have to do to get to this place. The next card you have is your outcome for the month. Okay, yeah, see, this is beautiful. If you're looking to reconcile, let's start with you first. If you want this and you want this, this is a Four of Wands. This is togetherness. This is happy home. This is things working out in favor of finding somebody who you can have happiness and a completion with. If you're looking to reconcile, this is a first completion. This is you letting go of this, letting go of the toxicity, and going with this. Making some major risks, making some big decisions to let that devil go and move on. And this is what you have to look forward to. This is first completion. So I don't think it's going to be easy. And it may just be you meeting somebody who's willing to kind of take it slow and know that you've been through a lot, but they're willing to do that. This is stability. And if you're single, this is what you're looking for too. This is somebody who you have this duality. I mean, Aquarius, I was starting to feel a little like, when that devil popped out. And then you popped out and I thought, nope, this is going to be good. Here you are. This is yours for the taking. This is unbelievable outcome for the month. This is moving into this. This is somebody who's stable, somebody who's resting. This is a calming. So if you're dating, you're going to meet this person that you're going to have this resting position with that then becomes this luscious, wonderful, no holds bar, can't resist each other type situation. Or whether you're looking to reconcile, I think it's an amazing reading. If you're looking to reconcile, I hate being down on you that I don't think it's going to work, but having that, oh, here's your two clarifying cards. Having that devil come out right here tells me you got to get away. You got to move, and you got to move quick. All right, clarifying. This is awesome too, because the Queen of Wands is clarifying, getting to this resting spot. This is somebody who's ferocious. They're confident. They know what they want. They're going after it. If you're single, show up a little more like this month. Always be yourself. Yes, weigh the good, the bad, the ugly, etc. But have confidence in yourself. Be this fire energy that is just, overwhelmingly positive and beautiful and passionate about something. Aquarius, it's been a long time for some of you since you've had any type of passion towards another person, towards the thought of love, and these are new beginnings, and you can have that. If you put that into the universe, you will get that. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you saying, no, I deserve better. This is you saying, nope, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm done. I'm breathing fire. I'm in charge of my life. I'm taking control of my life. I'm taking control of my destiny. I've got this. The last card you have clarifying is the Two of Coins or Two of Pentacles. And that's an amazing clarifying card because this is two people finally meeting each other and falling in love. And of course, it's crowning the lovers, which is amazing. This is about change. This card is about change, which goes very well with the Wheel of Fortune. This is about balance. This is about priorities. So if you're single, you're going to find somebody who balances you out, and it's going to feel amazing, and it's going to turn into this wonderful, amazing love. If you're looking to reconcile, this is putting yourself as a priority. This is making yourself a priority, and this is all about balance. This is about taking it slow, meeting somebody new, or if you have already met somebody new, getting rid of this so that you can focus on the two of you. Whether you're single or looking to reconcile, this month is very similar for you both, and it's very beautiful. There's a lot of potential here, Aquarius, but take care of you. You don't look at this devil anymore. You want this? They're not worried about this devil. Get rid of it. I don't even like it. Turning it over. Bye, devil. All right, Aquarius, have a fantastic birthday, a great month of February, and I will see you next month. Bye.